EA is very well known when it comes to racing games. As the publishers of Need for Speed, they have one of the most iconic racing franchises under their belt. The game we'll be looking at today, though, is a little bit more experimental than Need for Speed. In 1999, EA released Beetle Adventure Racing, a racing game designed to advertise the Volkswagen New Beetle. Now, the New Beetle itself is one of my least favorite vehicles. It was a part of a retro revival in the automotive industry around the late 90s and early 2000s, and it was more cute and quirky rather than practical. The New Beetle was more of a four-cylinder fashion symbol than an actual car. But enough about the car the game is based on. Let's get into Beetle Adventure Racing for the Nintendo 64. Beetle Adventure Racing released for the Nintendo 64 in 1999. In Australia, the game was branded as HSV Adventure Racing, and advertised the Holden VF Commodore. All other regions just got Beetle Adventure Racing though. The main mode is the Championship mode, which consists of 3 different leagues: Novice, Advanced, and Professional. Each league consists of all the tracks from the previous league, as well as a couple of new tracks. The only other difference between the 3 leagues is the strength of the cars available to you. Once you get into gameplay, the controls are very simple. The cars accelerate to their top speed quickly, and turns are very simple. If you tap the brake while turning, you'll do a power slide, which can help you make sharper turns. Although most turns in the game can be made by simply releasing the accelerate button. The game is incredibly easy to pick up and play, and the gameplay is fun, which will keep you coming back for more. The tracks are fun and have some really cool theming. There's a track themed after a dinosaur park, which ends with a race through an active volcano. There's also a track that goes through a giant ice cave. There's a bunch of stage hazards that'll destroy your car and reset you back on track. Your car will also explode if you run into an obstacle too fast. If you get stuck, there's also a button to manually reset yourself on the track. Falling off won't pose much risk though, since the AI is very easy. Even on the harder tracks, the other racers don't pose much of a threat. Tracks are also very long, with it usually taking around 9 minutes to complete all 3 laps. With all that said, you might think this game is really boring, but there's one game mechanic I haven't mentioned, which really makes this game unique. Your car doesn't lose any speed when going off the track, which on paper seems more like an oversight rather than an intentional feature. But it plays into the game's biggest selling point, the adventure in Beetle Adventure Racing. The track is littered with alternate routes, hidden paths, and secrets. Some of them are faster than the main track, but others are the exact same speed, or maybe even slower. The main reason you want to take the alternate routes is for bonus crates. Bonus crates grant bonus points, the amount of which depends on the number on the side of the crate. Collecting between 50 and 70 bonus points, depending on the difficulty you're playing on, will grant you a continue. The continues allow you to retry a course if you fail to qualify for the next track. By collecting all 100 bonus points in a stage, you'll unlock a track in the 2-player versus mode Beetle Battle. The game is short, only having a couple hours of single-player content, although that couple hours is only spread across a very small amount of championships, the shortest of which took me half an hour getting first place every race first try. Beetle Racing Adventure is certainly a fascinating game. The idea of track exploration during a race would be interesting to see fleshed out in a future game. Likely not a direct sequel, but a spiritual successor of sorts would be cool to see. If you're a Nintendo 64 collector, or just a fan of arcade-style racing games, there's lots of entertainment to be had in Beetle Adventure Racing. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, remember to like, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free and it helps out a ton. That's all for this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.